had to set the bar. Tried to catch me lacking. Bank account for my son, he won't have to struggle. You could see it in my eyes, all I do is hustle. They tried to knock me off my feet, I'm ready to rumble. Felt like I ain't ate in weeks, working off the muscle. Oh yeah, oh my, we ride for my brothers, no lie. All you can die, never wrong, they right. I ain't changing my side, yeah, we in it for life. And I've been magic. With the gang, we ball out, it can get tragic. All we got, we gon' let you have it. Stuck in my ways, think I need to change my habits. What would you do if you were me and didn't have it? Look in the mirror, now I'm feeling like a savage. Tell my son I love him, for him I'ma make it happen. Now my dream's reality, not going back to. You say that you proud of me, I turn my back, you laugh. Hey.
Named for the legendary coach and co-founder of the Bengals, here's a good look at Paul Brown Stadium on the riverfront in Cincinnati. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Miami Dolphins and the Cincinnati Bengals. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. First carry now for Kareem Hunt. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Hey, switch gears. Under 10, 10.
From the 27, Mayfield. It's Kelsey on the ground. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
A big 30-yard play on third.
Brandon, we've both been around the game long enough that we know that in pregame, defenses are pretty amped up, aren't they? I mean, they're pounding lockers, and they can't wait to get out there. But when you hit them with some big pass plays early, it takes the starch right out of them.
Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. As his guys are in for 6. As his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Extra point up and through by Myers. And that makes the score 7-0. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. On first down, Fields. And he's got his receiver. That's Sammy Watkins. First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards.
Defense gives up a touchdown the opening drive. Offense, you got to want to get out there and get those points back right now.
And that's a sharp throw there to get this drive off to a good start. On the ground, this is Derrick Henry. And he's out of bounds just before the midfield stripe at the 49. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. 8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's second and a couple. They'll run it now out of the gun. And across midfield he goes and into Bengal territory.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Check, crunch. Check 26, check 26.
They'll try to run for the first with Henry. 18 big yards on that one, and a Miami first. If you make the stop there, maybe you hold them to 3 on this opening drive. They didn't get the stop.
Yeah, new set of downs now. Now you're worried about, just as you pointed out, not just giving up 3, possibly giving up 6. Let's see what they decide to do here because they've got to change up what they have been doing. It hasn't been working.
And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And it'll be 2nd and 12.
53, Mike. Here we go.
Here we go on 2nd and 12. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. Now that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop, but that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything, so it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And this is going to be intercepted. Read it well, and it's picked. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Well, CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward. And
he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. A Bengal first down on the 16-yard pickup there. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. On 1st down, they'll run with Hunt. And the hole closes quickly there. He gets maybe a couple up to the 38.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Now this throw caught left side. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. A big play there. With his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Bengals, they widen their lead. Myers connects on the PAT, and it's now 14-0. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. This will be taken in at the 1. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. At their own 25-yard line. The Dolphins at the line, ready for their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that
looking for Watkins, and it's intercepted. Picked up by John Johnson. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line. First quarter, and now he already has 2 interceptions.
Yeah, he's got to guard against being tentative from this point forward, though. He's got to still make the right reads, make the proper throws. I've seen guys in this league throw 4 interceptions in a game and win. He's got to understand, put it behind you, keep pressing forward.
So on the big tight end, holding.
Each and every year, we talk about very few tight ends coming into the league that are polished blockers or asked to do it a lot in college. So it's a constant struggle and a constant fight to learn how to do it without holding.
Mayfield now. And he will find his man on the outside. And he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35. They'll give him 8 on the play, and that'll make it 2nd and 12. Here's Mayfield. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Christian Wilkins in there to get him. It's a loss of 5.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
180. Regular. I'm coming for you. You mine. Hey, check right. Watching your five. I know he ain't got it. Run. Check 37. Kill.
I got you.
Play action now. Here's Mayfield. Over the middle, it's complete. And he can only manage to take the football to the 40, and that is well shy of the first down marker. Here's Tyler Newsome now. He only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. And you can't do it much better than that. This ball kicks out of bounds at the 4-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Got a man open. That's Devontae Parker complete. Devontae Parker. He's at the 30, 10, 5, and all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Devontae Parker, 96 yards, as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. Well, they were back in the shadows of their own goalpost, and that flipped quickly.
So much for playing it safe. I mean, a conservative, easy call. Run the football, take care of it, create some space, punt the ball away. But no, let's throw it. And sometimes a defense's aggressiveness is used against them because when you've got people backed up, your natural inclination is to try and really force them back, and sometimes they get burned that way.
And they got burned there. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. The Bengals drive about to get going. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to show.
A battle for it, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 29, and they will take over at the 29-yard line. Well, this was a 14-0 game not too long ago. Things were looking pretty good. Then you give up the touchdown on the last drive. Now the interception.
So that's a lesson in trying to stay vigilant, isn't it? You have to stay on top of things. Can't relax too much because, as you noted, things change. Now they've got to go out there and get a spark going again and try and slow down this comeback.
And down inside the 15 he goes. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Dolphin first down. On 1st and 10, Fields. And incomplete there, almost picked off. That's one you maybe expect your roaming free safety to come up with. But it's 2nd down. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. To throw again, Fields. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. Sammy Watkins, his first touchdown on the year, as they are an extra point away now from tying this football game. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And we've got a tie game here in a back-and-forth first half. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. And that 14-0 lead to begin the ball game, well, that's gone now. Time to regroup.
I think even up 2 touchdowns, they knew this wasn't going to be a walk in the park, and I think that's why we would see the head coach going up and down the sidelines telling his team, let's stay with it, let's keep going. It's almost like he knew they were going to make their run at him, and they have. As you said, let's see if they can regroup and get going again.
Let's go, D. Big series right here. We got to step it up. Watch twist. Regular. Sponge. No.
On second down now, it's Hunt. Only a yard on the pickup, so from a good situation on 2nd and 2, it's now 3rd and 1.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man.
58, boys, 58, Mike. Oh, yeah, I'm coming. Point it right.
Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter.
Mike. 180. Coming this way. Here we go. Pistol. Hey, alert.
On 3rd and 1, here's Mayfield. Gets this to Kareem Hunt, his running back. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. A Bengal first down on the 16-yard pickup there.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out.
And this is caught inside the 5. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. Tyreek Hill, his first touchdown on the year. And the Bengals have taken the lead. Extra point up and through by Myers. And the lead is now 21-14. After the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And Charles, the way touchdowns have come so fast and furious for both sides in this thing, it's starting to feel a little bit more like maybe a tennis match than a football game. Yeah, I like your description there. Maybe we're sitting in a nice royal box watching this type of a game. But let's face it, right now, the way it's going back and forth, it's going to come down to who can get a stop. The throw here caught by Devontae Parker. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield.
Let's go.
Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones and a first down. The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already. Back to throw. Fields. Complete. It's Henry. And this will be good for a pickup of 9 to the 46. It'll be a gain of 9, and it'll be second and about a yard to go for the first. Second and 1. And this is caught by Watkins. And he's got this down to the 35. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals 35.
It's a nice completion, a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender's part.
Always so empathetic for those DBs, aren't you? And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run.
Good route, good pickup for first down yardage, and that is a tough one to cover, the angle route, because a running back getting out of the backfield, if you're trying to cover that, especially if you're in the linebacker spot and you're seeing this play develop, he heads out towards the flat first, and that often gets you to overcommit running in that direction. Then he cuts back up inside you into the middle of the field. That's what we just saw there for a nice pickup.
Looking to throw. Fields. And this is caught by Parker for a Miami touchdown. Devontae Parker with his second touchdown of the game, fourth of the year, as they are an extra point away now from tying this football game. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And we've got a tie game here in a back-and-forth first half. A couple of teams locked into a good one here. 21 all the score as the kick's away. This one fielded at the 5. They find some open field here.
Well, that return gives them a golden opportunity to go out in front. How will the defense respond after giving up that type of a return?
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Mayfield. That one complete to Hill. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. Tyreek Hill with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game, as his guys are able to regain the lead. The extra point now coming from Myers. And it's good. That makes it a 28-21 game. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. There have been points on the board. We just saw back-to-back touchdown drives. I love it. I'm high-fiving our statistician, Christian McLeod, and you're angry. You're a defensive guy.
If you met one of my defensive coordinators, God rest his soul, I'm surprised he isn't in this booth right now wanting to really take you on. This is not football the way he sees it. He wants a good old-fashioned kicking game, defense, field position, and we're getting an up-and-down the field game here.
I'll take him. Where's his tombstone?
Boot Hill, baby.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. He was looking for his tight end, Mike Gesicki, and it's 3rd down.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football, because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion, and both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
Back to throw. Fields. Wide open receiver complete. And now a fumble. The ball's out, and the Bengals Bengals have recovered it. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
Mayfield now after the fumble recovery. Open man is Hill. He's got it. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. 12 yards that time and a Cincinnati first down.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Now a throw for the left sideline, and he's got it. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
What I love about watching the passing game nowadays is that the one-dimensional receiver is really starting to leave the game. You've got to be able to do it all. Of course, you got to run fast. Of course, you got to catch the ball. But route running savvy and toughness, there's a premium for all of that now.
And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
Nice job there finding room to maneuver, and he worked his way into another first down. And look, they had great field position to start, but boy, they've done a nice job taking advantage of it.
Now they're just hoping to cap it off. On first down, they go right back to Hunt. And he'll get this one down to about the 17. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. This is caught. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down.
We didn't need to ask around the league, but we got to confirm this guy's a good player. They've got to find a way to get him more involved, call a few more plays that target him.
Absolutely, because here we are toward the... And he is in! Touchdown, Bengals! Kareem Hunt in the final seconds of the first half. Now the Bengals, they widen their lead. Now Myers for the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. Time here for likely one play, then off to the locker room, and they're going to have some adjustments to make.
They certainly will, and I think a lot of people are thinking to themselves, all right, take the knee, get out of here, regroup. But how will the head coach and his staff approach halftime? Will it be angry? Will it be clinical? Will they be calm? Will they just let it all out? Who knows? I'd love to be a fly on the wall for this one, though.
This quarterback now 12 of 16 thus far. It's 1st and 10.
Here we go, D, get off the field. Check, 53 is mine. Check, 53 is mine. Here we go, here we go. Tight dog, tight dog, tight dog. Safe.
A final shot before break. Fields. Open man, right side is his running back. It's complete downfield. So we've reached halftime in a wild first half. We'll take a minute to catch our breath as we'll head down to Orlando. That's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. Now left side on the swing pass. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. Got to give some credit there defensively. They snuffed out that screen early on 1st down.
Really read it well, didn't they? Because they didn't bring the pressure that they expected. They covered all the passing lanes. So once you see it break down as the passer, I think in this situation, you're either throwing it at the feet of your back to make sure no one picks it off, or you throw it away, throw it over the sideline. Don't try and freelance and try and make a bigger play. There's really no one else running a pattern that should be open.
This quarterback now nearing the 300-yard mark with still a quarter to play. It's 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Fields. Oh, incomplete. The rookie had it and lost it there. And it'll be 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. Throwing again. Fields toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. Devontae Parker, the intended receiver, and now it's 3rd down.
And now offensively it's 3rd and 10, and I'm just thinking to myself, actors always say, what's my motivation before a big scene? Right now the play caller's thinking, what have I done before that's worked well that I can go to right now?
Yeah, because they were pretty successful in the 1st half scoring points. Haven't done anything so far here in the 2nd half.
Check. Fresno. Slam. Bang.
To throw on 3rd down. Fields. This will be caught inside the 10. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Operating from the gun. Fields. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. Mike Gesicki, his 2nd touchdown on the season, as his guys are back within a single score. That's a score you felt they had to have here in the 3rd quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there's an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. The Bengals drive about to get going. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5.
Mike, 55.
Now Mayfield. And that one goes incomplete. He's maybe lucky it wasn't a fumble as he got hit as he threw it. Something we haven't really seen much of from him, an incomplete pass.
Yeah, last week he finished at 70%. This week he's up over 80%. I don't know how you slow him down. Pass rush is usually the best way because a quarterback on his back usually can't complete a pass.
They complete it to Hill. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. He's been big. 2 touchdowns earlier. Now he's got a first down here.
1st and 10 at the 34-yard line.
Mayfield now. Pretty amazing. 14 of 16 throwing the ball. It's 1st and 10. Mayfield to throw it. Going down the middle, and it's complete. The 30. 10. And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. A big play there. 66 yards. And the Bengals, they widen their lead. This offense, they were dynamic in the first half. The halftime break, that didn't slow them down at all. Big strike here in the 3rd quarter.
It's almost as if they were saying, it's not just our skill in the first half that's getting this done, it's confidence as well. And confidence has taken over this game in a big way. How about these strikes that we're seeing?
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Let's go.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. They did what they had to do to start this 3rd quarter, went down, got the touchdown to cut the lead, but the matching touchdown a moment ago, and we're right back where we started at halftime.
Yeah, you're exactly right, partner. They had a little bounce in their step after scoring that first touchdown, but the defense gave one up, and that's the problem right now. Can they get better play from their defense while they continue to score on offense?
4 yards on the pickup. 2nd and 6.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. 2nd and 6. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. Give him 3 on the play, and they're going to have a 3rd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Hey, watch it. Watch the safety creep.
On 3rd down, Dolphins. And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. It's a gain of just 3, and the offense likely going to yield to the punting unit here on 4th down. They'll keep it on the ground. Dobbins, and he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. They only needed a few inches, but still some anxious moments there, but they do convert on 4th. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. From the gun, Fields. And this is Parker, complete. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. 2nd and 5. It's hauled in by Shepard.
A gain of 18 on the play. 1st down, Dolphins.
So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 right at the 40. Operating from the gun, Fields. It's complete to Drake. 18 big yards on that one, and a Miami first.
I think the good offensive coordinators in the league now are looking at the fullback position and finding the right guys to hide in that spot and increase their passing game, as we just saw there. How about the run after catch? Racked him.
Well, yeah, whether it's a true fullback, a tight end, you put in the fullback spot, you know they're going to be tough to bring down if you can get them the football in the passing game. Even with that broken tackle, he'll be brought down short of the 15. It'll be a gain of 4, and that'll make it a second down.
I wouldn't be surprised to see the next step in utilizing this position is to actually utilize more of a scat back in this spot, because we saw the catch there, right? He made it, but he's a bigger, stronger guy, maybe not quite as elusive as maybe someone else you would put there.
Yeah, didn't get the big yardage there you might out of a smaller back. Now a pass dumped off to his running back. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. 7 yards there and a first down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid gain.
They'll run on first down. Dobbins. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. A great effort there. His first touchdown on the year, as his guys are back within a single score. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how are we going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away. This is fielded at the goal line. He's going to be stopped here with a penalty marker on the field. I'm not sure what this is about. Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that would look pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
They'll run. This is Hunt. And very little daylight there. He'll get a couple up to the 44.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Hunt. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. And this will probably be the last play of the quarter.
Get that quarterback, D-line. Get that quarterback.
A first down throw from Mayfield. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line.
You know what the key to a good screen pass is, don't you?
Bet you're going to tell me. Good blocking?
Well, good blocking eventually. But first it's good acting. You want to let the defenders go past you, leak out to whichever side or even in the middle where you want to set up the screen, and then you do your blocking. How about the read, though, by the defensive guys? They weren't fooled at all and actually ran with the lineman to where the play was and smothered it for a loss of yardage. Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect him to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
On third down, Mayfield. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he gets it to the 34, good enough for the first. His big day receiving just keeps getting bigger. He's over 200 yards now in the afternoon. Mayfield now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Mayfield leaves it for Hunt on the draw. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. 18 yards that time to push him up, 1st and goal. How about this offensive line? They're really starting to establish themselves, take over this game.
And before the series began, I know exactly what was said in the defensive huddle. guys, we got to get no less than a 3-and-out. Let's get off the field. Instead, they can't find any traction towards doing that. Right now, they're just getting muscled all over the field and getting pushed down it.
So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. Mayfield gives this one to Hunt. A nice pickup of 6 there to get him closer to the end zone, and it'll be 2nd and goal. Good gain there on 1st down. It keeps them in a running situation, probably.
They did everything right on that play, didn't they? They got the leverage up front, good blocking, nice hole for him, ends up picking up nice yardage, stays in bounds to keep the clock rolling. They are in charge of this scenario right now. They want to stay that way.
And not in any rush offensively. And the D not yielding much there. He's only going to get a yard to about the 2.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
Well, they've been so good on 3rd down all day long. Can they convert another here on 3rd and goal? Oh, how about this call down near the goal line? And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to make it a 2-score game. Myers' kick is good. And that will push the lead up to double digits now at 10. A big one there. That gives them a little cushion and makes it a 2-score game.
Yeah, bled a little time off the clock, put some points on the board. It's not totally out of reach yet, but it has to feel pretty good to them right now because as a defender, you go out on the field and say, guess what? You can put some points on the board, but that won't beat us.
Myers now converted on the field goal try. Now he's on to kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line.
At their own 26-yard line.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Here a throw taken in by Watkins. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A well-executed 22-yard gain. From the gun, Fields. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That's now a pair of explosive plays in succession, both north of 20 yards. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Operating from the gun, Fields. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. To throw again, Fields. He gets it into the arms of Parker, complete. And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. 1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. That gets him 3 yards closer here as it brings up 2nd and goal. They'll run with Drake, and he is in. Touchdown, Miami. Kenyon Drake, his first touchdown on the year. As they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. So they got their touchdown, now down a field goal. Here comes the onside kick. And this is going to be snuffed out. The Bengals recover. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we've brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got a second down now as they search for a way to get this one to the finish line. On 2nd and 12, Mayfield gets this one to Hill. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. Tyreek Hill, 46 yards. Now the Bengals, they widen their lead.
Well, it'd be real easy to say that they are firmly in control right now, but I'm looking at your face and I'm thinking I've got to be careful with that.
Well, it's a two-score game. You're inside at 2 minutes. I think you can breathe relatively easily now.
Yeah, you can, but still, you got to stay vigilant. Can't give up anything cheap and easy. That could put you in some jeopardy.
And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21-yard line. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
Well, it takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them the last time out. Let's see if they can come back and put together a similar drive.
And we'll see if they can do just that. Here's 2nd and 8. Yeah, this is caught. It's Parker. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Back to throw. Fields. Here as he's taken down. Bobby Wagner, the former second-rounder out of Utah State, with a sack. Looking to throw. Fields. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
Off-play action. Fields. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by Byron Murphy. Parker, the intended target. Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his second season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Bengals,